The Reserve Bank put out their financial stability report, and it's a report that gives us a bit of an idea about whether the plumbing in the house is working, what are the foundations like in our house. So we tend to sort of gloss over it, but it's actually quite important in regard to what it tells us. What did it say? Look, the foundations look pretty solid. Banks are pretty well capitalised, liquidity is pretty good, but we've got these obvious risks. Biggest risk out there at the moment is that we're going through a pretty severe downturn. How is that likely to play out? Well, the Reserve Bank notes there are going to be some businesses that fail. Some sectors are a little bit more vulnerable than others. They highlight commercial property, and even within different sectors, you've got different sectors that have got different leverage, different interest cover sort of ratios. So look, we got a bit of a tick, but it's a cautious tick, and we need to be very mindful that we are going through pretty tough, challenging times. Not very. So if you look, let's start with the glass half full. The glass half full. We're in a really good space to deal with the current series of events. The government balance sheet was really strong. Government debt was at 20% of GDP. In a nominal sense, government debt was around $60 billion. Where's it going to? Government debt's going to 50% of GDP. In fact, closer to 55. It's going to be $200 billion. Now that's pretty eye-watering for a country such as New Zealand that's got pretty high levels of private sector debt at the moment. So that doesn't give us much capacity on the other side to absorb another economic challenge if we do get thrown one in the form of the shaky Isles or something like that. But if we sit there and think about the playbook for New Zealand, the playbook for New Zealand is pretty well something bad tends to happen to the economy every 10 years. So you go back, the GFC was about in 2009, the Asian crisis, 97, 98, obviously 87 to 91 were not exactly a great period in New Zealand's economic history as well. So the challenge we've got at the moment is to think about, well, let's fast forward to sort of 2030. So we get into the post-recovery phase after COVID. We've got to put a little bit of money away for that next rainy day. We've got to get more money in the kitty. We've got to get government debt back down. How do you do that? Well, you either spend less or you tax more, or you make some pretty big, bold decisions in regard to the likes of raising retirement age. Now, each of those decisions is really bold, and it's going to need real leadership on the other side. But we're going to need to prepare that war chest for another rainy day or potentially monsoon, because we know that every decade or so, something untoward does tend to come along. Well, and you wouldn't be spending less at the moment because we're still in the grips of a pretty deep downturn. The unemployment rate is moving up. Job seeker benefit numbers are going up. With each passing day, you see more of those articles of newspapers about 10, 20, 100 for some businesses, 1,000 people getting laid off. So the right policy response in the near term is to try to cushion the blow. How do you do that? Well, the government's got to spend big. We can talk a little bit about how much of it's going to be effective or not, but they do need to go big. But at some stage, we're going to need some pretty severe discipline on the other side, because you can't keep on borrowing and spending your way to growth. We can do that temporarily, but we're going to have to go through a pretty big process of what's called fiscal repair on the other side. What does that mean? Hard decisions, some hard decisions in regard to tax, whether they go up or not, and a lot more tighter disciplined spending control.